I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
I don't think it's possible. Oh, this looks really nice.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Graphically, this is like a huge step up over some of the other places. Oh, hello. Cube head. Ooh, very attentive book positionings there. This kind of stuff takes ages to really make it look haphazard like that and not have it just clip through everything. Pretty music. This is lovely. Ooh, that chrome is alluring. Wait, is it just a stretch texture? It looks really jaggy. Yeah, I think the reflection is just sort of smearing. Yeah, I'd love to go to a place like this for a while. My goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy
You'll
homes.
notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games.
I have noticed that.
Including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me, a place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. What is up with these plates? They're all covered in junk. Well now, you might just be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning, then you can decide you could do it all night. I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Sure. That was easy. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? I'm gonna have to sort those pillows out soon. While you're there, when you straighten out the rug a bit. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I would have straightened it to the walls, but that's fine, too. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that bugs me that it's not aligned. Wait, is the wall actually at an angle? Maybe this is actually aligned to the wall. Does this and that seem parallel? It's close, not quite perfect, though. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I enjoy it as much as I need it. Or I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. Well, I'm working and feel kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, and that a tidy couch. That and a tidy couch. Would you straighten out the pillows and sofa here? I'm doing all the work for you, you're just standing still. Oh no, what happened on this table? Why is that? That looks awful. What is that? It's like oil. Much better. Somebody spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. Yep. Feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Yeah, I'll try to get behind you. Absolutely have to. Make it especially cheesy. You be you. Have I overwhelmed you? No! No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Oh. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? This place really isn't that dirty. I mean, this is like half an hour's worth of work. Not that bad. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down best you can? No need to be perfect. We're all just human. I mean, I'd like to have a perfectly scrubbed tub if possible. Although it does look a lot better. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? I would have done these all at once. Like, if you just left me to do my own thing, I would have cleaned this all up. Oh yeah, that's better. Perfect. This music is making
After the
this
intense
so
set of
soothing.
prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
Come and
It's
clear
the
the
moment
dishes off the
after a
table.
particularly
What?
difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit
Is it gonna loop?
and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Is cohere a word that you can use like that? I would have said coalesce. Alright, I've cleared the table again. Is this gonna follow the same pattern? No, the rest of it is staying clean. This music's really pretty. I need to look up who did this. I feel like Lynn would like this. Maybe we're eating and then we're making the dishes dirty again? House cleaning is so difficult, how do you do it? Are all houses this easy to clean? Do the chores never end? Cohere is fine? Okay. Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave
I know
future
that Kuda
chores to
really liked
future
this
you.
game. Of all of his work, actually,
He
this
wants
was the
to smooth
only
out the
one
rug
that
in the
he
bedroom.
called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
I'd be pretty happy with this game too, actually. This is just sort of life. You just keep cleaning the house and living in it, and cleaning the house and living in it. When I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you, huh? Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I get it, that's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right, it's pretty cheesy. No, but there's a bit of truth in it, no? Yeah. The person you just met is now calling you darling, how forward? I don't think so, actually. I think maybe there's a passage of time happening here. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. I feel like this is a metaphor for Coda falling in love, right? And then sort of seeing peace in the repetition of day-to-day events. Going around, sorting things out, cleaning up, moving on, not dwelling too much on things, and letting life exist in the spaces between those events. But we're only seeing the events. We're not seeing the rest of the world aside from them. Please clean up the books, thanks. Something sort of beautiful about the simplicity of this. The pillows over the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Can these folks coming home have such a messy couch?
But, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't
Aw.
stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I hate that the music just goes away and then we have to leave. I like this place. I wanted to stay in it longer. The fact that it's outside, it's cold and windy and dark, and inside is warm and inviting. It's like there's such obvious contrast going on there. There's no door puzzle. The door's just open. We just go straight to the beacon.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to
Look at
pick
this
up
tree.
and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Oh, it got cold.
This one gets a bit goofy.
We're in a lecture hall. Very modern looking one at that. Why'd you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. Oh, I'm in a different chair. Workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know? Why can't I read today? Who do you know who is so well-developed person that make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp, and the question is how, or not how to do it, but how to do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect is
shifts.
effortless. Whoa! Oh man, now I'm the lecturer.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Alright, so the narrative that I've constructed here is the partner that the developer found left, or some fracturing happened between the two of them. And this is sort of like a moment of frustration, anger, jealousy. You know, the whole false self-bravado thing. Just bravado. Where you try to project that you can be anyone you want because it's so easy to be callous, but the reality is you're really hurt and you're trying to cover it up inside. So we're in the position of being the teacher and also the student in the same position, because we're being the student to our own id and our own wishes, I guess. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. What? Kids should not follow their dreams. Can I not choose these? Oh, one was yellow, the others weren't. Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. This is one right answer, and two that make you open up. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. Oh my god, this is so sad. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. You understand that you won't be happy until you love me. This is for you. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? You, I'm developing assist gross. Well, I mean, in moments of depression, you kind of go with two a lot. Is there I feel like it's not a pattern that necessarily is consistent for the ones that are yellow. Ha ha ha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? There is no truth, there is no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys, something is coming out of the back of the room, look out. Is that like a moment of clarity that's like, okay, I can see reality again? No, I think self-doubt in this case is maybe more realistic. Nothing, no one. It's coming for you, it's going to destroy you. Everyone run, run.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Didn't even let me
choose
choose the last option
these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Alright, I'm already getting a bunch of information just from context here. So this is the jail setting, with the context that there is a stage, making this the green room, which means that we're trapped in our performance. So we can't escape this cycle of having to do what we have to do to live and survive, to keep up appearances, and never have to face our own self because we're trapped in a prison, and the only way out is back to the stage again. It's like really well-modeled road gear box case. Looks exactly like they really look. Yeah, this game is really insightful and really clever and introspective and meaningful. Performance is beginning. Places, please. So we're performing to an empty house. The scene you'll be playing is me. We're at a gathering of professionals. First you start out leaning against this wall. I don't like this texture. It doesn't look like anything else. Okay, good. At least it's a fake texture. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. It is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello? Hello, that's it? Focused, happy, wise, successful. As not a conversation, you actually need to converse with her, be a human being, do it again. I like you. No, 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 that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel for the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Wow, that is a big old hallway. Oh, that's pretty. How far back do you want me to step? Oh. You take a moment of introspection, and then you get locked out of the opportunity forever. Looks like a monster face with the lights. Wonder if that was intentional. Bet it was. Okay, yes, now this is working.
This
This is
eerie
what it was
premonition
like.
of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to
Oh, this is
hide
way too
himself
real
away.
for me.
Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius trip to play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. I will attempt to do that. I wonder if the backing up game that we did in the first place, it looked innocent, but maybe it was also sort of an insight into this person's persona. Alright, I'm going to actually close my eyes now, and I will click to begin the game. I'm not looking. There's nothing stereopositionally that feels like it's telling me what's going on, so I don't think that I can not look, actually. Okay, I had to open my eyes. Yeah, okay, that's not at all what I was supposed to do, really. Are we gonna be killed by a giant door? What's going on? Captain, what can we do?
You should
Can't see
probably
anything that's
open your
going on.
eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible
Yeah,
to solve
I
otherwise.
did.
And there is a solution, by the way.
There's a giant door, and then my vision went black. Please tell me how to solve this. Please don't let this be forever. Research. Are you going to be killed by... So I'm just going to loop if I don't find the solution? I see that's up there. Am I supposed to find the door and go up? Maybe just ignore talking to everyone and go my own way? Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these. That's it, that's the truth. I don't feel it anymore, I'm out of ideas, it's
Like I
draining
said,
me.
I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Hello, where am I? What is this? Oh, it's the tree white mist path. Where did this island come from? How did I get... Or how do I get out of here? Hello, is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. Oh, the path behind me is disappearing, and I'm getting 2 branching paths to choose from. I can't really choose from them, but it looks like the appearance of 2 options. You're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it to know why it stopped.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now,
I take it
put
to you,
yourself
but
in
there's
my
a problem.
shoes playing
It's
this.
guarded by a difficult
Here's a
puzzle.
friend whose work is exhibiting
help me
signs
solve the
of
puzzle, find the
struggle,
machine.
frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making
I said
games.
3.
He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Obsession, validation.
From my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little
Come
bubble,
along, I'll show it to you.
just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Well, I kind of sympathize, though. I mean, this is sort of the same thing that I did in a way. When I was as dark as I could be, I kind of looked to the thing that always got me through everything to get me back out of it again. You know, and playing games, oddly enough, is what took me, in some ways, out of being able to interact with people, in some ways back into it. So I understand where this methodology could come from, or this pattern could be reinforced, that someone could believe that the thing that's causing the depression is the same that could save them from it. It's about self-discovery and the ability to find your way out. So just going deeper into the rabbit hole sometimes is what feels like the right solution. And especially if it's all you know, or it's all you really feel comfortable with, it just seems like the best option for you. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to close the door. First you have to press the switch from the inside. I mean, if you could just press the switch on the inside, that would work, but you'd have to be in the inside. First you have to open the door. It's usually much darker in here. Now you have to close the first door. Now you just press the switch here. Should I have not been honest about that? Ah, it was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
I try to create it, feel empty. Hello, is anyone there? What is this? I need to see it to know why it stopped. I recognize this. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. There's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous, and that you love 100% of the time. Okay, making games is simple, making games is easy, making games is effortless. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls just crumble? Why did I feel so awful when I said that? Because you were lying. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Just keep saying creation is easy. Just keep talking, that is the thing right there. Always just keep talking. Doesn't matter what you say, just keep making sounds. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy, it never stops being easy. You can't even lie to yourself in this one, they give you no out. There was a world stamped with whiteness.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Just never stop creating, and you'll never feel bad. It's such a simple solution. Oh, I can relate way too much to this.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. To get out, all you have to do is be sincere.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
I will be saved by my work. Incredible, that's it. I'm free. On the other side of the cell.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.